All right. Well, this year we decided to decorate for Christmas again, obviously, because it's the holiday season, and that's what my wife likes to do. And we have brought down our reasonably old Partylite snow globes. You can see the one that I'm focusing on is functioning perfectly. Both of these and the other one I'm going to show them in a minute, they got the little motor underneath them, powered by a couple of AA batteries, and there's a little music box, plays a song. Now, this one, as I said, is fine. This one, however, has gone to hell in a handbasket. Apparently, there is a piece of actual iron, not stainless, in the base of these things. And for whatever reason, or whatever the mechanism is that causes the stuff to blow, has rusted shut. Because this one doesn't, the music box still works, but the electric motor doesn't. There's no corrosion or anything on the battery terminals. It just doesn't function. So this is going to be my attempt at turning this back into something that looks like that. And we'll see how we do. Let me shut this other one off. No need to waste batteries. But first thing you got to do, I wasn't sure how to take these apart because they're glued together. But the first thing you got to do for this is, I suppose I should look at it, unscrew the little winder of the music box. Not too much to that. Then flip her over, and you can see there aren't really any fasteners on this thing. Now, I've already got the batteries out. Not much there. But what you'll find, if you're real careful with it, sort of. Come on. There it is. It is just glued in with a little bit of adhesive. And when you get it out, you can see that there's the switch for the motor. Not sure what the little black thing is, maybe a resistor, I don't know. But there's the motor. The outer housing is just glued on, and that is actually, we can get a good look at it, just a rubber plug. So I'm going to get my soldering iron and a few other things and see what we can do with this. And we're going to try to come up with a way to get this sucker cleaned out and repaired. Okay. So now I've got the wires unhooked so I could get this out of the way. You can see I've mark the terminals so I can get them back right. Not much left at this point other than to clean that glue up and try to pull the plug. And as I am firmly in the camp of can't screw it up any worse than it already is, we are about to do that. So hopefully we will be back in a few minutes and see what we got. Okay, well, that glue that had rolled over onto the glass was surprisingly tenacious for something that is a minimum of 12 years old. I had expected it to be brittle, and it wasn't. So just got a single-edged razor blade and ran it around, carved it off. And if you can see the little flat spot on the yellow wire, that was actually glued to the base with what appears to be super glue. So it came off with a little bit of a fight. I didn't pull on the wire, I just used a screwdriver and kind of pushed down against the glue, and it peeled off without cracking anything, so I think I'm going to be alright there. And okay, well, the next step is going to be to try to pull the plug and see what we got. I don't quite know if I'm going to be able to do that here. It's fairly loose. Alright. I'm going to go get a pair of pliers and see what we can do. Alright, back with the pliers. Put up a little bit of a fight. It's definitely opened it up. I can see the water. I'm not 100% sure how this is all attached. I think it's starting to move. Oh yeah, there she goes. There she goes. Starting to move. Come on. Apologize for the camera. She's almost there. I'm trying to go easy on this thing because obviously I have to reuse it if I'm going to put this back together, which I'm sure my wife would like me to. Oop. Did that do it? Oh wow, there's a step in it. That's impressive. Up, and look at that. And we have liberated the poor little Christmas tree from the water. Kind of see that gap under there. That's where the drive mechanism is, and I'm assuming that's where the rust problem is. That's kind of gross. Not quite sure what I'm going to do to salvage all the glitter. I'm sure I can probably get some somewhere else, but anyway, so I'm gonna figure out a way, if there's a way to unsolder that, or maybe I just pull that little switch off because it's just glued on. I'll try to get that out of the way because obviously this needs to come apart further, but I got to figure that out first. So, all right, looking at that push switch to turn the motor on and off. That glue is what I would have expected for the other stuff. It is hard as a stone. But that is all that appears to be holding that switch in. You can see that I've uncovered that one side. And it's not quite loose yet because there's so much on the other side, but that just requires chipping away until you expose it, and then it should come loose. So I'm going to carry on with that. And there it is. Let's see if it comes out. Come on. Guess I could have chipped a little more on that right side, but all right. And we have it. A few chunks of glue floating in there, but now we have disassembled snow globe and something else to work on. So I'm going to try to clean this thing first, and then I'm going to work on the bottom end of it. Alright, so I was trying to figure out how I was going to salvage that glitter, since I'm kind of lazy and don't really want to go out. And so, into my Bunn coffee machine with a filter in it, it went. And it's also left me with this, which is a rather horrible, disgusting, and cloudy globe. Get in there and try to just clean that out, because hopefully that's just the rust that's plated out on the inside of the glass. I doubt it'd be too stuck on, but worst comes to worst, I'll throw some CLR in it. That should knock it out. But I'm just going to rinse this a few times after I pull the glue chunks out of it that I dropped in it, and keep going. Well, this is going pretty well. Got the glue chunks out. Now I'm just rinsing off the glitter, which seems to be cleaning up pretty well. Started cleaning the inside of the globe. As you can see on the paper towel, it's certainly just rust. It's coming off pretty easy. Put a little 409 in there, shook it around, and I'm just trying to wipe it out. keep doing that for a little while, and then I'm going to attack the actual mechanism. We'll see what happens there. Well, the rinsing continues. It seems to be going along pretty good. But I am pretty impressed, because even just running water in that stuff makes it move around a lot, so obviously it's very light. And now, after my cleaning, it's not perfect. I'm going to do a little more buffing on the inside of it, and obviously the outside, but heck of a lot better than it was. All the gunk's taken out of it. So I'm going to be trying to figure out how to dry this stuff. I'm probably going to put that coffee filter on a cookie sheet, set it in the oven, a couple of 220, 230 degrees for a little while, try to evaporate that water out of there and dry it to where I can pour it back into the globe. But other than that, we are close to finished with the big parts. Yep, who knows how this is going to work. But that's what we're going to do. Set her in there and fire that bad boy up. Where is this damn thing? There it is. Alright. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, now to this thing. Well, turns out that top piece is just glued on. See the 4 marks where the glue was. Not much to it. It's filthy, but... And there's our problem. It's the first time I've tried to move it, and it's rather crunchy. So, looks like there's a little stop collar on that thing of some sort. And you can see the rust, how it's distorted that little impeller. Well, I'm going to pull that apart and see if it is even possible to repair. May not be. Well, drying the glitter in the oven worked a treat, so that's back in the jar. However, you can see the damage to this impeller. This is the culprit. And this is the rest of the base. This is a rather interesting monolithic casting that was sort of sealed underneath here. I've trimmed it a little bit at this point. Well, you can see it. So this is loose from the stand. However, the motor still doesn't turn, and it's just kind of filthy. So, looks like I will probably not be able to get this thing to run again, as it doesn't appear that anyone makes these little impellers. They're very, if they do, they're not readily available on the internet. So, what I'm probably going to do is try to seal this all back up with some silicone and clean everything up as good as possible, glue it back together, refill it, and at least I will have a clear snow globe rather than a filthy, disgusting one. And if I ever do run across someone that somebody's broken a glass on and it still has a working motor, I can buy that for a few bucks. But I also looked it up, and this exact replacement snow globe on eBay is $28 plus shipping. So it's not like it's a priceless antique. Anyway, that's about it. Alright, well, there it is. I refilled it with distilled water after cleaning everything with some soap and water and a toothbrush. Drying it out. Used a little silicone to put the plug back in. That was fun. You really got to make sure that goes in square, because if it goes one side versus the other, the whole thing falls into the water. It gets messy. But, about the same air bubble as there was when I took it apart, so it ain't too bad. Well, like I said, it ain't perfect, but looks a lot better than it did. Now it won't rust anymore. So, anyway, at least it can be an ornament. Hope this helps.